let's go to Aurora.
Hey, everyone. My name is Aurora. Danny said that he comes from a family of immigrants. I am an immigrant. I come originally from Spain. I've been living in the US for many, many years, but I'm still an immigrant. So I completely understand when Danny was saying that, working hard and trying to make your way in this country. But anyway, my background is basically in journalism. So I'm very familiar with content and content creation and how to deal with positioning messages and stuff like that. By the time I made the decision to take Danny's course, I had some experience with PR and social media for brands, particularly with an agency. And we used to call that digital marketing in the agency that I was working for. And then, I realized, well, I really don't know anything about digital marketing. So I always tell this story, and that actually hopefully will help many of you or most of you who are interested in taking the course to make a decision. I was very aware of the fact that this was the career of the future and that I needed to be prepared for it. Disclaimer, knew Danny from a previous job, and I was always super impressed with Danny from minute one. So when it came to the point last year when I had to make a decision about, okay, so how am I going to prepare myself to be a digital marketer? I had a Columbia University digital marketing executive course aligned. So I signed up for that because at that point, I didn't know about Danny's course, right? So here comes Danny and, opens his ODEO Academy for everyone who's interested. And I was like, oh, shoot, I already signed up for Columbia University's digital marketing course. So I said, okay, no way, I am not going to miss Danny's course. I knew that it was going to be amazing. I signed up for both. I did both at the same time. And I always tell this to Danny, and it's absolutely true. The Columbia University marketing course was amazing. I learned a lot about marketing in general, funnels, and all these funny terms that you will end up learning about as well. But the fact that I did Danny's course actually was a blessing, because that was the one that actually gave me the tools to be a digital marketer. And I can tell you right away, if it wasn't because of that, to this day, I will be sitting here without knowing really what to do with digital marketing. So it has been so important for me and so important for all the other peers in the same class, in the same cohort that I know have been super successful in different ways. I think we're going to hear from Israel in a minute. And to the point that my job that I have right now, that actually started a month ago, I got because in my interview, I was able to answer a lot of questions about digital marketing. And I was very sure that if it weren't because I took the course with Danny, I would have not been able to do that. And you will be so happy to learn terms like website audit. What is that? PPC, what is that? So it gives you a sense of really being in control, knowing your stuff, being ready for any interview down the road, being ready to go as a freelancer, being ready to do your own gigs with different clients. There is a big myriad of things that you can do. And the other important thing is that Danny holds your hand all the way. So when he says that you don't need previous experience or previous knowledge, he's not kidding. That is absolutely right. And he's so invested in his students that really creating a group for all of us, as Chaya was saying, so we can communicate with each other, kind of exchange comments, questions, answers with each other, but also always getting back to him if we have any questions that we need help with. That for me is precious. And I will just end up by saying, and I always tell this to Danny, that all the weekends that I invested in watching those videos were much, much better than watching Netflix episodes. So with that, I'll leave it there. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Thanks, Aurora. And congratulations on your new job. I'm really excited for you.
Can I say something very quickly, Danny? Because I see that there is someone here saying that as a business owner, I need to understand about digital marketing and not necessarily be the digital marketer, Ezra. So one of the things that I want to point out is in my job now, actually, I need to supervise an agency that works with the organization that I work for. And the fact that I did this course just let me, I just came from day one. I did audit everything that they were doing. And I said, this is a joke. You don't know about SEO. What you're doing with PPC is not right. And I was very surprised myself that I was able to sit down with an agency that is doing digital marketing for this organization and tell them, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. I want to see this, and that. I can tell you, if it weren't because I took this course, I would have never been able to have that conversation. So definitely very important to understand what's going on.
Wow. You have such great students. It's so cool to actually hear from them.
It's real, Shayna, isn't it?
It's amazing. Yeah. And I love how each of them has another story, and each person's doing what they want to do. I mean, each of them is so inspirational. And I feel like, you're giving us each the message that like, oh, okay, that could be me too. Because, I love how you're all being so, you're like being so honest. Like, I didn't know this. And now it's crazy to see the transformation. It's wow.
My last thing that I want to leave everyone with this, the investment in this course is not just about what you're going to learn, it's the gift that keeps giving. So to this day, when I have doubts or when in my job, I need to review something that I forgot, I go back to the videos and I literally review those videos. And then I say, oh yes, now I remember it. So it's literally like a tool, like a working tool that you're going to have forever to go back to when you have a job, or if you have your own agency, or as Israel said, your own freelance shop going on. It's always there for you as a backup. So it's definitely, for me, it's one of the best investments ever. So hopefully you will jump into it, as Shaya said.
You're such an inspiration. And also, one of the questions I had for Danny that I forgot to ask earlier, you answered for us, Aurora. My question was, people are going to be comparing courses, right? We all Google, we don't just take someone's word for it. We need to know what Google thinks, right? So, I've had people who are asking me, well, how do I know that's the best course out there? I'm sure there are so many. And I mean, your example, comparing Columbia with this, and the way that you explained how it showed up in an interview, that's just like the most amazing thing to hear. I love that.
I also think that, and I will leave you with this because I know that you're running out of time, but the other big asset, and I'm not saying this because he's here, but it's completely true, is that Danny is behind it. Danny is literally someone that will support you every step of the way. He's so dedicated to the students, but also, I don't know, maybe because you're a rabbi, Danny, I don't know why, but he has this way to read into every single personality, and he knows very well what each one of us needs. And I've ended up having conversations with Danny about, hey, I'm not sure, I'm not self-confident enough to pursue this particular job. And Danny will be there and say, no, you can do it. You need to believe in yourself. I have to say, again, best investment ever. So guys, go for it. You won't regret it. And hopefully you will be the next cohort.